Chelsea Football Club just live with bad news in this international break. It looks like Romeo Lavia has now picked up another extended time injury. Yes, Romeo Lavia in training has picked up another injury. Carney Cucurella, another injury that's going to keep him out for a month. The bad news keeps coming, and we're getting finally some clarity of what happened with Cucurella. Why did Cucurella not leave? What happened? Which clubs bid for him? And how he basically forced his way to stay at the club. I respect it, but at the same time, I don't like it. Let's get into it. Let's break these two stories down, and I will tell you the ramifications of these moves. The reason why Chelsea fans don't panic just yet. Let's go. Welcome to the Kavkas View. Today's video is a sad one. I honestly did not want to make content today. I genuinely wanted to have a day off, but the content dropped, and when it's of this magnitude, we kind of have to talk about it. But before we get into it, I need you lot to help me out. Whenever you lot hit that like button and we break that 1,000 barrier, this video does very well. So I would really appreciate, especially if you're the regulars. Yo, there's 30,000 of you that subscribe, meaning we should be hitting 1,000 likes. No problem. So come on, help me out in the comments below. Let me know what number like you were so I know which ones are supported. And secondly, if you're new to the channel and you've made it this far, yo, you're clearly enjoying what you're seeing. So hit the like button and subscribe as well, because that's the best way you lot can help me grow. Now, let's move on with the video and the news that you lot came. The news broke this morning, and this news was very upsetting. Romeo Lavia has suffered another injury, and as per usual, people started with their knee-jerk reaction. Sack everybody in the medical staff. Chelsea's medical staff is broken. We can't have a team that stays fit. Change the lion to an individual with a crutch. You heard everything. People were spewing all types of nonsense. What I did is, I know an individual that knows in and around Chelsea. Let's just put it this way. I messaged him, I said, yo, is this true? He replied to me, yes, the media is reporting that it happened today. It didn't happen today. It happened yesterday in training with Romeo Lavia. Tackle came in by a player, and it was a contact injury. It happened. That's what I was told. So this is the news that I'm getting told. Everyone else is reporting that it happened today. I don't know why people are going to be reporting that it happened today. Maybe they're just trying to wait 24 hours to see the impact on his ankle. So what happened? There was a crunching tackle on his ankle. They fear that it's a tear. It could be out weeks, or it could be out months. There's a scan on Friday, so today, and now the scan is reiterating after the results are analyzed how long he's going to be out for. There has definitely been damage, meaning the player will not be playing for a foreseeable future. Minimum 4 weeks, minimum 6 weeks is going to be at that point. It's very frustrating, especially for Romeo, considering the fact that he just made a big move to Chelsea. He could come in and be that number 6 for Chelsea, and it would be a pivotal move. He's picked up an injury. Am I worried? No. And the reason I'm not worried is because, in my opinion, he should not be starting at this moment in time. Whilst I really think he's a good player, I think a midfield of Caicedo, Enzo, and Lavia is too negative at this moment in time. In the big games, I would love it. In the big games is what I'm going with. But as long as Connor gets dropped and we put in a Cole Palmer, I'm very happy with us going for the next 6 weeks, maybe 3 months, whatever it takes Lavia to recover, for us to be going with that. The only issue is, who's going to play in that 6? Well, the lucky thing is we kept Ogachokwa. We paid 27 million euros for him, and he's a player that's coming with a tremendous amount of talent, a tremendous amount of promise, and what we've seen of him so far, I'm not going to lie to you, he looks very complete, very compact, strong, 6'3" or whatever he is, great in the air, and more importantly, he's just a traditional DM. Gets stuck in, gives the ball, carries it well. Just a very intelligent player. Reading the game at age 19 is very good. So I'm not too worried about that aspect. The other piece of news that has really irked me in a negative way is, looks like Carney Cucurella is out for another month. Carney was meant to be back around about October. Now, we knew that Carney was going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. It looks like it's going to be another month. Apparently, in his rehabilitation process, he picked up another niggly injury that basically occurs through rehab. It's another problem in his knee. It's just complications that happen when you're having rehab. And the reality is, he's the one that we really miss. Whilst everyone's raving about Cole Palmer and how he can play in the 8, that's the catalyst for the 8, guys. For me, a midfield of Caicedo, Enzo, and Carney Chukwuemeka, now that is a midfield I could get behind. Carney giving the link between the midfield and the attack, his ability to get stuck in, his ability to strike a ball, his ability to generate chances for himself and others, allowing Enzo to go deeper to plug the balls forward, and then you have Caicedo disrupting play and carrying it forward. He's just very, very good, and he's an enabling player. I don't think it's a coincidence that against Liverpool and against West Ham in that first half, we looked phenomenal in the midfield battle. And the reason we looked so good is because we had someone connecting the game. We had somebody stepping out of his way, somebody being able to influence the game by bringing in the attack line and bringing in the midfield together. We don't have Jackson dropping into the midfield to pick up the ball, to do a little spinneroonie and running behind with the ball to try force the team to move up the pitch. It's really frustrating. I wanted both players back by October, but it looks like they're not going to be. And we're just going to have to learn to live with it. It's not the end of the world. We've been having injuries for the past 24 months. Maybe there's something to do with training, or maybe it's just bad luck. But the reality is, it's just more bad. The final story is from Mr. Fabrizio Romano regarding Cucurella. Cucurella's move to Manchester United broke down for multiple reasons. Number one, Manchester United wanted a termination clause in January, and Chelsea said, hell no. You're not doing that. You're not using us to just literally get a player till January and then cut costs. No, it doesn't work like that. You take him for the whole year, or you don't take him at all. They said we're not taking him at all. Another reason was because Chelsea played him in the cup competition and he was cup tied for it, so they were against it. But what have we been fed throughout this whole window? There's no interest for Cucurella. Well, that's nonsense, because Fabrizio Romano has come out and said there were multiple clubs. Even on deadline day, there were clubs interested in the player. Number one being Fulham. The player rejected Fulham and said, I don't want to join. I am going to stay at Chelsea. I'm going to fight for my place. Guys, if you think about it, that makes total sense. Why is Cucurella going to go to Fulham when he could be at Chelsea? Getting paid the same amount of money as he would be getting at Fulham. But more importantly, Ben Chilwell is not performing that great. So in Cucurella's head, he can take him out of the team. Then there were also other clubs linked with him. Atletico Madrid, Leipzig, Sevilla. So look at the caliber of clubs that are coming in for this player. Evidently, he's not whack, he's not rubbish. He's just going through a barren spell. Maybe it's time for Poch to coach him. And you know what? That's one thing I do trust Poch on. I trust that Poch can get the best out of players that are not superstars. So systemic players, I think Poch could elevate them to another level. I.e., make a person that looks good in a system look great. Purely based on the fundamentals, basic coaching, improve him here and there. And I think Cucurella is one of those players. So I do think we do have a very good manager. I trust Pochettino for this moment in time. Purely based on the fact that I think it's a young squad. They need to be nurtured, and he has got a proven record for coaching good youngsters. He's got a proven record of developing youngsters to go on to the next level and become better. You're going to ask me who? Well, let's talk about it. Kyle Walker went on to Manchester City. Harry Kane went on to Bayern Munich. Danny Rose had his best years under him. Dele Alli had his best years under him. Van Tongen, good player under him. Very good player. Toby Alderweireld, good player under him. Dembele had his best years under him. Wanyama had his best years under him. Eriksen, some would argue, had his best years under him. Like, you're seeing a trend here. These were all players that had their best years under him. Even Hugo Lloris. This means he's not a terrible manager. You just need to have players that buy into his system. And that, for me, is integral. And with this Chelsea current crop of squad, I don't see anyone not buying in because they're too young and they achieved nothing to be like the PSG squad. There is no Verrattis. There is no Neymars. There is no Mbappes. There is no Paredes in this squad. There aren't individuals that have been there, done that, and said, hold on, I don't trust you. I don't like what you're saying. So Cucurella, hopefully, will listen and get better. But this was the Kavkas View. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Peace out, I'm out. Adios amigos.